On the way down screaming,
what's going on, guys? My name is George, Honourable Wolfie, and welcome to the first official part of the F1 2016 Career Mode Championship on my YouTube channel. This is the Australian Grand Prix. It was the first race of the 2015 season. It's the first race of this season as well. We're going to jump straight into practice. I'll leave you to listen to the intro by Anthony Davidson and David Croft. We probably won't listen to them much over this series, being honest, because we heard all their intros in the F1 2015 season, sorry, and they just repeat the same stuff, being honest. So I'll let you listen to them for the practice session. After that, I'll probably just talk over them. And yeah, I'll do my own little intro for that, but for now, I'll hand you over to the commentators, Anthony Davidson and David Croft, and I will speak to you guys in a minute. Enjoy!
Welcome to Melbourne, where the practice session is about to start for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. The pre-race talking is over. Now it's time for the drivers to show their worth. Now then, Anthony Davidson, there's been a lot of talk over the last few weeks about track limits. How much is too much when you're cutting corners and running wide? What are your thoughts on this? And do you think we'll be seeing drivers pushing those limits this weekend?
Well, I'd be disappointed if we didn't, frankly. If race control want to clamp down on drivers wandering off the track, then it's up to them to police it. As a driver, you're being paid to get your car around the circuit as quickly as possible, don't forget. So if you're not pushing those limits, if you're ignoring the advantageous line, then you're not doing your job properly. Now, I agree that, we have these white lines there for a reason, and we do want to see those limits enforced, but for me, it's not a driver's responsibility to do that.
So there you have it, guys. That is the sort of practice intro by Anthony Davidson and David Croft. And now we're in the garage. As you can see, we've got the other side of the garage over there with our teammate Romain Grosjean over there. The guys are already working on the computer randomly. I'm not sure what data they're analysing. You can see another computer over there analysing some data, even though we haven't even been out on the track yet. So that makes a load of sense. But for now, this is what our little setup screen looks like. So you can see we can select the tyres there. And we're going to load our Australia setup and scroll through it. Now, you'll notice if you watch the first episode of the F1 2015 season, these setups are a lot different. Now, that is more because they've tweaked the way the cars work on F1 2016, and you have to be a lot more conservative in terms of stuff like aerodynamics. With the front wing and rear wing, we used to have these really low down, like 3-1 wings, something like that. And now you can see we've got them on 8-7 wings, so we have to be a lot more conservative in terms of the wing balance that we have on the car. I'm just going through the rest there. It's fairly similar to F1 2015 in terms of what we can do for our setup, but a bit more detailed. So we're going to finish that up now and now look at the practice programs we can do. So we have track acclimatization, which is where you have to pass through gates, points along the track at each corner, and the DRS, and you just have to activate it within each zone for the DRS or pass through the gate to be able to get the maximum resource points available on that practice program. We'll head off and do that in a minute. As you can see, 3 laps on the medium tyres and 50 points available. As for time management, that's just looking after a set of tyres for 7 laps. You can do super soft, softs or mediums here in Australia, and that's just keeping this sort of the tyre level in the right area of the bar in the purple. And then qualifying pace is just set a lap that is under the lap time the team wants. So that's nice and simple, to be honest. It's not much to get your head around for that, but for now we're going to do the track acclimatization. We're going to go out for a flying lap instead of driving all the way around the track, and let's see how we do around Australia. So there you can see the results of the track acclimatization program. We got a purple score, which is that perfect amount of resource points. That is the most we can get. Got that on the first lap. Only 2 corners we didn't get purple on, which I was really happy with that. We also managed to do the DRS test, which gives us another 5 resource points. So far we got 55 out of 175. But for now, we're going to go on track time management.
Simulation on any tyre yet. We have multiple sessions available, so it isn't urgent right now, but we should make time for a tyre
Thanks for that, Jeff. As always, Jeff trying to interrupt us there. So we're going to go out and do time management, see how that goes now, and get some more resource points. End of the first lap, we're going to get a green score here just inside the Delta and average tyre wear. So I'm pretty happy with that one, not too bad at all. But then it took us until lap 7 to get another purple lap, and you can see there, crossing the line, we get 30 out of 105 resource score, which gives us no resource points. So that wasn't too great. You can see there the results. I have no idea what these graphs mean. I'm not even going to try and explain them. But we failed the time management, so we're then going to go and try the qualifying pace in a minute. Jeff is talking to us again. Honestly, I don't give a monkey's what he's telling us about. So we're going to go out, try the qualifying pace. We also managed to complete another team objective. I think that's a low fuel saving or something like that. So I'll have a quick check what that is now. Yep, fuel saving. So we managed to get that, but for now it's about the qualifying pace, and let's see how we do here. And now you can see here we're right at the end of the practice session. Actually, we only managed to do one flying lap run, and we're 1.2 seconds off the pace. I pretty much backed out halfway through just to save tyres for the next session.
As all the cars are now over the line, your top 3 again are Hamilton, Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel. That's it for practice then. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks for that, David Croft. That was lovely end to practice one. As you can see, Hamilton and Rosberg dominating as expected with the Ferraris next best. Red Bull don't seem to have too bad pace either, only 4 tenths off the lead time, and they were also running the mediums, with Daniel Kvyat managing to get himself up in P5 but on the soft tyre. So a bit different there. The top team's running the mediums, but for now we're going to head back into our motorhome. You can see here we've got the introduction to resource points, which are basically resource points. We collect them and then we add them on to like upgrades to the car. They are basically the currency in F1 2016, and the more you have, the more upgrades you can get. So there you can see we currently have 621 resource points to spend.
Hi. Good to meet you at last. My name's Chris, and I'll be working with you as your Chief of Vehicle Development. It'll be my job to get your feedback as a driver and to direct our upgrade design in the areas that you feel are most lacking. At each Grand Prix, we can run a series of practice programs and log the performance of the car as you drive it at its limit. This gives us data that we can utilize to develop various performance improvements. In order for me to know which upgrades to prioritize, I'll need you to select a development area that you'd like us to focus on. And you can do that in the R&D section of your laptop. Anyway, that's all for now, but I'll keep you up to date, okay? I'll see you soon.
Thanks for that, Chris. Nice insight there into the R&D section. And you can see here the 5 areas you can upgrade: engine power, fuel efficiency, chassis weight, downforce and drag. And we're just scrolling through here to try and find which upgrade would be the best in terms of gains on our opponents. I decided that downforce would probably be the best gain there. It was quite cheap as well. It wasn't too bad an upgrade. So we decided to go ahead and upgrade that one. And yeah, our Haas needs a bit more straight line speed because its Ferrari engine isn't the quickest, but also needs some cornering ability like the Red Bull has. So we're just going to pretty much upgrade everything at the moment, to be completely honest. If we look at the vehicle comparison, this upgrade should take us ahead of Force India definitely, maybe even Toro Rosso and up with the McLarens. So it should be interesting after this updated session, but for now we're going to hop off into practice 2 and see how this session goes here. So if we have a quick look on the session info at the practice programs, you can see we also nailed the track acclimatization, failed tyre management and qualifying pace. We need one more team objective to get the full resource points on that. Time management, we're not even going to try that again. So for now, we're going to go out and do another qualifying pace run and see how that goes. Now, I want to show you this first though, guys. Halfway through practice 2, we lose the rear end coming through turn 5 towards the end of the first sector and lose our front right tyre, our first official crash out of the 2015 season. You can see there, we just got a bit on the grass, lost the rear end, and we were going at too high a speed to be able to bring the car back under control. Hit the wall slightly, and there goes the tyre. So we decided to retire on that session. And you can see here, lovely little retirement cinematic almost. Love this helmet we've got, guys, as well. This sort of mirror and black that we've got. It's almost like chrome, I suppose, the design. But now in practice 3, at the end of the qualifying pace program again, not that much on the pace whatsoever. So really not good there. Still no resource points for that. So that is brilliant. And at the end of that session, you can see we are down in 17th place with Romain Grosjean in 14th. Only 2 tenths quicker than us, so I was actually quite happy with that performance that we managed to put in there. But practice 3, all practice sessions weren't brilliant, so we'll have to improve in qualifying. And we got beaten by Massa in that session, so that's not good.
Guess who made the gossip columns this morning? Everyone's talking about this new rival you have. Check his stats out.
Thanks a lot, Emma. So we have a new driver rivalry. So this is something that has been added since 2016 games. You can really battle against other drivers. And our first rival of this 2016 season is going to be our teammate Romain Grosjean, the baguette himself. So it should be a pretty tough rivalry. This, obviously, its first rival has to be your teammate, and you can see him there sat with Anthony Davidson, where he's wearing the cap and the Haas uniform. Hopefully we'll be able to beat him over the next few races, but I don't know, being honest. I really don't know. Like, he's a good driver, Grosjean, so we'll have to work hard to beat him, but for now we've got voicemail.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
So those are our qualifying goals. Thanks to that, Emma, again, being very helpful today for once. You can see we have to qualify 15th or higher and beat our rival Romain Grosjean. They are the aims for this session. I think 15th will be a little bit of an ask because Australian Grand Prix isn't my strongest of circuits. But hopefully, you know, we might get lucky. We might be able to get a nice qualifying position. And basically, we're just going to have to see what we can do. But beating Grosjean is the main target.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly.
So now we cut straight into our first flying lap in qualifying. It's been a pretty strong lap actually as we race towards the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 127.4, putting us in third place, slap bang in between the Toro Rossos. So I'm very happy with that lap time because our upgrades haven't fully come through yet. You can see at the end of the session, that was actually our fastest lap. It puts us P13. So we get that sponsored target there of beating Romain Grosjean, and we're going to talk over the commentators a little bit here instead, because being honest, I prefer my own little intro over there. So you can see there, Nico Rosberg getting pole position for first race of the season, Lewis Hamilton 1 tenth slower than him. Vettel gets third on the grid, 2 tenths behind Rosberg's qualifying time, with Verstappen getting himself a 4th on his debut for Red Bull Racing. Kimi Raikkonen in 5th, Ricciardo in 6th. Bottas in 7th. Daniel Kvyat managed to improve his lap time to get himself up into 8th, so a very good performance from there, splitting the Williams boys. As to the other drivers, the McLaren of Alonso rounds out the top 10, Perez and Sainz P11 and 12. We get 13th on the grid with our teammate Romain Grosjean 2 tenths behind us in 14th place. Jenson Button makes 15th, Hulkenberg 16th, then Ericsson, Magnussen, Massa, Palmer, Wehrlein and Haryanto round out the rest of the field. So it should be an interesting qualifying, this one, and hopefully we'll get a nice good race. If we look at the resource points on that session, we're getting a few here, 50 so far, not too bad being honest. We don't get that many from qualifying, 182 current resource points. Then we go on to look at the driver rivalry, which should be interesting. You get points how well you're doing that as well. So you can see here, if we have a look, we both completed qualifying, so we get a point, and get a point for each of these basically. So you can see here, after qualifying, we lead the rivalry at 6-3 at the moment. It's first to 30. So pretty good start there, and hopefully over the next few races we'll be able to extend that. It's not going to be at the end of this race that someone wins. It'll probably be by round 3 or 4, I'd say. Then we've got team standings here. So this is basically where you stand within the team and what they rate you as. So we start as the second driver, but we get 1 point for getting the session goal and beating our teammate who is also our rival. So we get 2 points there. 7 out of 10 still obviously second driver for first race of the season. But for now we'll go hop into the race. I'll chat to you in a minute.
try your best to hold on to this position in the race.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Nico Rosberg will start his silver arrow from pole position.
With Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Hamilton, Fiat, Massa, Perez, and Carlos Sainz, Bottas, and the Haas, Romain Grosjean, and Button, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Marcus Ericsson, and Kevin Magnussen, Palmer, and Wehrlein, Rio Haryanto, and Felipe Massa starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
I just have to apologise, guys. I had to make David Croft into something like Alvin and the Chipmunks. It just had to be done. But as in for the race strategy, you can see here, I'm just messing around, seeing if I can make a slightly quick strategy, going for a 2-stop on mediums and superstar side. Really don't have to look after the tyres, but it's still a bit slower actually. So it's a quite interesting setup in the end. We decided to be very daring and go for the 1-stop from the softs to the mediums halfway through the race. I know this will be quite daring of me. I'm not that good on tyre management, but we'll get track position after the first round of pit stops, and if we can get a good start off the grid as well, that will really help us in terms of being able to hold down this 12th position. Someone in front of us got a penalty which actually promotes us onto the 6th row of the grid in 12th, just behind Valtteri and Bottas. I think it was actually him that got the penalty. If I remember, he was in something like 6th place. But here, as we fast forward through the formation lap, building up to the start of the race, we're just looking for a good start off the line if we can. We start on the slots which are slower than the cars around us, but for now we're going to pull into the grid slots. We're going to get ready for the start of the race. Manual start, so we decide how well we get this start, and we have to keep our eye on the lights and just hope that we manage to absolutely nail the getaway, release the clutch perfect amount of time. We look behind us there to see if the grid is informed. It has now. So we're going to get started with this race, wait for the 5 red lights, we hold down the clutch, get to optimal RPM, which is revs per minute, let go of the clutch. Perfect start for us here. We jump Carlos Sainz straight off the grid. We got a bit boxed in here though with Sergio Perez, but we're going to move to the inside as much as we can going into turn 1. We dive up the inside, Felipe Massa make that move stick. That's us into P7 going through turn 2, and now on the run down to turn 3. We've got yellow flags behind us, but they're quickly turn back to green flags. We're going to do an ultimate dive bomb here. Into turn 3, we get up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton there to get up into P5. Now Verstappen is the next car in front of us, so we'll have to see if we can close him down over the next few laps. But at the moment, I think it's Nico Rosberg that still leads the way. Yeah, currently Lewis Hamilton really got a bad start off the line and might ended up dropping down several positions. But for now, Verstappen's had a good start, and we're going to look and see if we can get even further. Now later on in that lap, you can see here we've got Verstappen, Raikkonen and Rosberg all dicing. Vettel has overtaken Rosberg to get into the lead. We banged tyres for Nico Rosberg as we dive up the inside of all 3 of them there going into turn 13. And we managed to get ourselves up into P2 by the end of this lap. This is absolutely incredible scenes here, guys. Yellow flags behind us. I'm not quite sure who that was actually for. But for now, at the end of lap 1, Vettel leads. We are in 2nd place after an absolutely beautiful start, taking all the opportunities that were given to us. Rosberg down in P3. Not sure where Grosjean is actually as we cut now later in the race onto lap 4, and we have Kimi Raikkonen all over the back of us here. It's a nice corner cut there, George. That's absolutely brilliant, that is. But now later on lap 4, here comes Nico Rosberg with DRS. That's going to be so much straight line speed for him, but he does go a bit slow to turn 1. We might look to make it around the outside, which we do. Beautiful move there through turns 1 and 2, and we hold on to 2nd place for another lap. At this stage, Vettel is really getting away at the front of the grid, and Rosberg now goes on the attack on lap 5, going into turn 11. Sorry, that's Verstappen going on the attack, not Rosberg. I assumed it'd be the Mercedes, but Verstappen manages to get his way through. We managed to hold him out actually through that quick left-hander, but now Rosberg is attacking us down into turn 13. We're going to go up the inside line, defend, squeeze him out wide, and that is us holding on to P2 for yet another corner and lap. Now on lap 6, and here comes Kimi Raikkonen. They're literally queuing up to try and overtake us here. But again, we squeeze into the outside, and the AI just can't get around the outside of the quick left-hander at turn 11. And we hold on to P2 yet again. Now on lap 6, later on in the lap, and we're coming through here. Yellow flags just behind us there. And Valtteri Bottas is out of the Grand Prix. So that's the 2nd season in a row that he is retired from the opening round. He retired in the first round of the F1 2015 Career Mode Championship, and now he's retired again in this race. And now we take the lead of the Grand Prix as Sebastian Vettel has pitted to put on another set of these super soft tyres. We lead this Australian Grand Prix. We're going to look at the change in strategy. I don't think we're going to do it. We're going to stay on the one stop. Seems to be working. We'll have to look after our tyres a little bit over the next few laps. But for now, we lead this Grand Prix. We'll try and keep cars behind us as far as we can as we cut on to lap 9. As Jenson Button attacks us. Sebastian Vettel managed to get through. I'm sure Button must have overtaken us under yellow flags. So you see Kimi Raikkonen retiring from the race there. But yellow flags at the moment, so we can't overtake Button, and that's really not helped us as we lose all momentum through those corners. And I'm guessing Button's going to get away from us here as we get a pretty crap run through the final corner there. But Vettel managed to catch up and overtake us pretty quickly there. And now Button has done the same, but we're down in P3 still, so we're still doing pretty well here. Now on lap 12, you can see our front left is actually screaming 77% wear. We're going to put into the pits now. We've got to judge the braking point here to perfection if possible. We brake now, and we have gone way too early, losing loads of time. That allows sides to close right up to the back of us, which isn't what we want going into the pit lane here. Lots of teams seem to be coming in, but luckily Haas are right at the end of the pit lane, so we shouldn't get held up here too much, if at all. So we put on the medium sets here, and we have been held by Carlos Sainz. Really slow pit stop there by the Haas team, 3.5 seconds. Not good whatsoever, but for now we're down in P12, just behind Carlos Sainz. And we're going to have to try and hold on to this position and get back through the field as we come to lap 13 now. More people in the pits, we're back inside the top 10 now. And this looks like it's Romain Grosjean there, just in front of us. We're going to get a bit of a tow from him going down the DRS straight to turn 3. We're going to go round the outside of him on the run down. We make the move before we even get to the corner, and that is us into P9 now. Carlos Sainz right in front of us. We'll look to try and catch up to the back of him in the next lap, so maybe overtake him. Now on lap 14, and we've closed up to the back of Sainz. It took a little while longer than I wanted it to, and now we're going to dive up his inside into turn 1. We make that move straight, run off a little bit wide, which loses our momentum, but Sainz loses his momentum as well, and that's us up into P8 now. Now P7 as someone else makes a pit stop, and Romain Grosjean is going on the attack round the outside like many driver has tried on us. You squeeze him right up to the wall, take the inside line, leave him enough room in fairness. Nice corner cut there, George. Yellow flags behind, so something's happening. Grosjean is out of this race. Grosjean has crashed out. Sadly, I did manage to get back at the end of this race to see what happened. I forgot to check the replays. There's no highlights into this race. I'm guessing Grosjean has been hit there as he tried to rejoin onto the racing line. And that is not good for the Haas F1 team. I probably should take some of the blame there for squeezing him out too much, but I had to defend my position. We're both on the same strategy. That was completely for position. And we've been pretty equal over this weekend, so I suppose I just had to defend the position as we now move up into P5 with more people making their pit stop. Sainz is all over the back of us, and now on lap 21 here, it's now a case of looking after our tyres as Pascal Wehrlein is out of the Grand Prix now, so we're down to 18 runners at the moment. We are really losing cars left, right and centre here. But at the moment, we're just on a strategy to try and conserve these tyres. You can see 45% wear. We've been holding these tyres probably for about the last 10 laps, I'd say it is now. And they've gone 45% wear in 10 laps, and we still have 8 laps to go. At 80%, they tend to just drop off. So we're going to have to look after these tyres a lot here, and it's going to be a real ask because we are on the slower tyres in P4. All the cars behind us are on the faster tyres, so this is going to have to be some great driving as we now come to lap 23. Here comes Max Verstappen on the soft tyres, a lot quicker than us. His car is quicker, the tyres are quicker, he tries to dive up the inside. We lose all momentum through turn 1, almost make a collision with him there, but he gets through into P4 now through turn 2, and there's nothing we can do to keep up to him there. And now Felipe Nasser is out of this race, so that's 17 runners here. I wonder what has happened to him. I guess an engine failure? Not too sure. Yeah, it's an engine failure. There's Felipe Nasser out on the side of the track. Surprised I didn't get a safety car for that. But now lap 27, here comes Fernando Alonso in the McLaren on the soft tyres. We are really desperate situation here with the tyres. 70% wear, 10 more percent, and they could just die. They could even puncture right now, but normally it's around 80% that you think they could puncture at any minute. That's Alonso into P5, we're down to P6. We still got to look after these tyres now on lap 28. and they are screaming 75% where we really need to look after these. Ricciardo, just go past me, man. I really don't care about defending from you. You are a faster car, you've got a faster engine in you, you've got faster tyres on. I just want him to get past. We can actually make these tyre lasts. Kevin Magnussen is behind us a few seconds down the road on the same tyres, but he will be able to push because we have had to go really conservative now. 76% wear. It's absolutely crazy that these tyres are still lasting, and 7th is going to be our best bet here. Now, as we round the final corner on lap 29, we are going to get 7th place in the Australian Grand Prix. 81% tyre wear. We managed to manage them all the way to the end. It's P7.
As we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings.
So there we have it, guys. That is the Australian Grand Prix, the opening round of this F1 2016 career mode. Sebastian Vettel gets first place in that race, 21 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton, mainly because we held everyone up so much after he got past us. Jenson Button somehow takes his one-stop strategy to the podium. So great race on him. Max Verstappen manages to keep 4th place in that race, with Fernando Alonso 5th, Ricciardo 6th, and ourselves in 7th. That is 6 points in the opening round of the season. Absolutely ecstatic with that, being honest. Because how we managed to make those tyres last, I do not know. We could have perhaps just beaten Ricciardo if we were slightly quicker. He was only a second ahead of us, actually. So we're really unlucky not to get that there. But now as we look at the driver's standings, obviously we're 7th in the standings. Just saying, Kevin Magnussen, Nico Rosberg actually finished in 10th place in that race. He had a really poor race out there on the track. 5 retirements in that Grand Prix, and being honest, not too many surprises. I'd say the Renault of Kevin Magnussen getting some points was a surprise, and Rosberg getting 1. Other than that, not really much was 2 surprises. You're now looking at the constructors, Haas F1, 5th place at the moment with 6 points. But when you look, only 2 teams below us have got points. Williams still yet to score a point in that one, which is a bit of a shock that neither Bottas or Massa managed to make their way into the top 10. But as for that, guys, pretty good race, I'd say, there for the opening round of the season. Next up is the Bahrain Grand Prix, I think, which should be out hopefully within the next few days. Definitely within the next week, and we're going to try and get some of these uploaded nice and quickly. I have recorded several races there. As you see, the resource points we've got 310 at the moment. I don't think that's enough to do another upgrade. Now for the rivalry, we're going to get so many points over Romain Grosjean here. Actually, whoa, he kept right up to us. It's 10-7, so he kept the gap to 3 points there. But yeah, pretty good going there by the looks of it. If we look here, we get a point for getting the session goal, teammates, and the Drivers' Championship. So we're up at 10 out of 10. And doesn't for us for this driver, we have to be consistent with these sort of points. But pretty perfect start to the season here. You can see my career score. We don't really care about this. This is just for you guys to compare it. But for now, I'm going to round out this video. There are sadly no highlights in this one because I've got to look at the replay. The same will be for the Bahrain Grand Prix because I've already recorded that one. I forgot to look at that replay after the race. So China will be the first one where you get highlights at the end of the race with some more music. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed that episode, guys. All the music featured in this video will be down in the description so you can go check it out. I hope you have enjoyed. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next